Assalamu alaikum. Sulaiman Rahim here. After the covenant, break the 7 seals. Sisters and brothers, always open with the Holocaust. The Holocaust. We cannot forget that they're out in full throttle to try to get you to forget, to undermine, to whitewash what 400 years of history, critical race theory. It wasn't a theory. It's not a theory. It's meant to be, because they say theory, I mean, it may have happened, may not have happened, it may have been like this, it may have been, see, in other words, put doubt in it. Stop calling the Holocaust a theory and see what happens to you. There's nothing theoretical about it. In fact, if there's theory, it's theory about their presentation of it as being a whitewash. That may be theoretical, but the fact of the history, the fact of what happened, that's not a theory. See, you see a picture there that looks like a theory? That looked like slavery. It wasn't slavery. Slavery was an economic part of it. Period. Slavery was an economic part of it. The social part, interaction, that was what you see there. And that's just a minor depiction of what occurred. 20 years of absolute abject horror. Horrific. That's what we went through for 400 years with these people. And we're still suffering aspects of it now. So don't let them tell you about slavery. That's the economic, that's the capitalist part of it. The capitalist dream, maximum profit, minimum overhead. That's slavery. Get you to work for nothing. See? That look like work there? Horror. The Holocaust. Let's move on to the program, brothers and sisters. Now I want to follow some of the presentations I had about power. Since this is so-called Mother's Day, which is some more BS, every day is Mother's Day. We don't celebrate days like that. That's them. But Lion Ishmael, you know, he wouldn't speak on today. He's trying to tell how they're so great about women. No, he just lied. He claims at the end that everything they say is true and they can prove it. There's no lies there. That in itself is a lie. Everything they say is a lie. Everything they say is a lie. Without exception, everything they say is a lie. And they can't prove any of it. You can prove it's a lie. Everything they say is a lie. They say Sunniism, women are not oppressed by Sunniism. No, Sunniism does oppress women, period. I mean, it doesn't take long to figure that one out. See? Because Farrakhan has been paid by Sunnis to downplay the Sunnis' role, right, in anything that the West declares negative. To downplay Sunnis' role and what they did to us. Because they're the ones that portrayed us into our condition to be over here. They control the northwest coast of Africa. The Europeans couldn't get in there. That's where the angel, what talks about in the Bible, the flaming sword, right, was to protect the sea of life, tree of life. We are the tree of life. And a flaming sword, because they ate a tree of knowledge of good and evil. But then they said, okay, let's protect the tree of life, put a flaming sword around them. He said, eat that tree and live forever. See, they put their seed in it, and then they disguise themselves as us. That's the demons. And they go undetected into the kingdom. But no, Suleiman's, he's got demon detector, so that's not going to happen. So, but there was the flaming sword that was to keep the Europeans from getting at us. But then they betrayed us. That's story of Joseph, because they know that we are the true inheritors. They are the seed of Abraham, but they're not the inheritors. They're the seed of Abraham by Abraham is made, but the one that God blessed was by his wife Sarah. That's Isaac. That's us. Ishmael. They are not the inheritors. But they force off our land. They take all our holy sites, our language, and everything else. They force us out, and then, just like the story of Joseph, they threw us in the arms of the Egyptians. They allowed them to get into Europe. If you go see those movies where they had to go and capture slaves, don't you see an Arab that's one of the guiding them in? They had no access to Africa. They had to go through the Arabs because they controlled the northwest coast of Africa. And that's how they got in. Because they was the guides. So don't get it twisted. That's our land over there. It's our language, our holy site. But they don't want to give it up. And so they paying Farrakhan to stop talking about the Abrahamic covenant. Stop talking about the Abrahamic covenant. So he only talks about the first part, the part of the affliction and the enslavement. You don't talk about the reward, returning back home. You don't talk about that part. So what's Quran says about those who believe in part of the book and disbelieve in the other? So they're cursed. That's why he's disemboweled. He's been cursed for a lot of reasons. That's one of them. They're paying them off to get us to not think about returning home and reclaiming our land. Where we are. So he's lying about that. He's also lying about a lot of things. He's lying, everything he's telling you, but lie anyway. So he's lying about everything. Everything will come out of his mouth is a big lie. He calling his father a liar. And his father, man, he lies. He called him a liar. Called Master Muhammad a liar because he said we're not going anywhere. I put out a presentation, said who is the liar, and shows what they're saying. And Elijah Muhammad's saying. And Elijah Muhammad's saying we were fools to stay here in the land of our imprisonment. Right? That's what calls us fools. They rise up against us in judgment. But Farrakhan, on the other hand, he's saying we ain't going nowhere. So who's the liar? They call him a liar. Because that's the whole purpose of Master Muhammad coming here. You see on the right, top right, the top left, right. And the whole purpose of Elijah Muhammad's mission for some years. But they said we ain't going anywhere. Because he's a demon. He's slave master's black-faced child. Google him. Google Farrakhan, his bio. Just Google it. I don't put that stuff out there. His bio is Percival Clark. Percival Clark. And they got a picture of him. So maybe your Messiah. I want to speak to women a minute. I'm going to keep this short. Sisters, regardless of whether you accept this now or not, you will accept it. If you're original, you're going to accept it in a few more days. I'm speaking to you now, but you're going to understand this in a few minutes. You've been put down for the last 50,000 years. See, prior to 50,000 years ago, you were equal. There was no inequality between the male and the female. There were differences, but equality. Like 5 plus 5 is 10, 2 plus 8 is 10, 6 plus 4 is 10, 3 plus 7 is 10. They're all 10, different, but equal. So after 50,000 years ago, we fell off the mathematical standard into energy deprivation, right? Our mental power started to decline. And so we went physical. And we go physical, the man is physical, more powerful than the woman. He goes physical, he'll abuse the woman because he can't compete with him physically. So that's when it's the start of women oppression. And it got worse and worse and worse and worse and worse. 600 years ago, we weren't the only one oppressing our women. We lost control, and the devil was putting them through abject horror, raping them, sodomizing them, you name it. They did it to them. Unrelenting, right? Continuous oppression, sex, the things they would do. Like I said, I have books about it. I go one, and this is good enough, right? See, they got this movie called Alice. Where he would tell, oh, it's Sunday. You know what that meant? That means it's rape time. Jackson and Washington, rapists, pedophiles. But they honor those people. So you have one situation where here come Master Swinehead. Master Swinehead. Hey, Sarah, it's time. It's time what, Master? It's time. It's time for Master. Go get Jenny. Why I need to get Jenny? You know what I mean. So then she go get Jenny. Jenny, her daughter. 7, 8 years old, maybe 9. Toddlers don't make any difference. Right? They get them young. Right? Because they reserve the right to break all slave women in. You know what I mean? In other words, you couldn't touch them. If a slave, they found a male slave, had touched one of those women, took their virginity away, touched them any kind of way, any kind of intimate way, they would torture him to death. You don't touch him. Because you couldn't be intimate, have any kind of relationship with a female, black female, unless Master condoned it and used it as an incentive. So if you had to pick 7 bales or 6 bales of cotton, right, every day, well, he said if you pick 8, you can see with Sarah on the weekend. Remember the movie Django? He had to kill another black person. There'd be a few minutes with a female slave and a beer. That's not an exaggeration. So, okay, he said, bring Jenny. She bring Jenny. Now, you show Jenny without, I'm creep master. So that's master creep. So what creep master like now? You know how I like. Now, Sarah's got to go and demonstrate all the freakish stuff that this clown wants. She got to demonstrate it to Jenny. Jenny's 7, 8 years old, maybe not that old. So you got to demonstrate. So she's going to do all the demonstrate, that she do, all the filthy things, stuff you can't even imagine, right? So she does all that, right? And maybe 2 or 3 sessions, because there's so much stuff, right? Probably couldn't do it in one session. Right? We just talk about the one session. Then when she does it, then she brings Jenny over and says, Gina, you saw what mommy did, and you got to do the same thing. You do it just like mommy did it now. Creeps. And then she got to sit there and correct. No, Jenny, you got to do it this way. No, Jenny, you're doing too much this. You're not doing enough of this. That's these creeps. See? And they don't stop there. When he deflowers her, right? And then he still rapes her at will until she has little Carol, and then you got the same process all over again. 20 years, horrific. And you want to make friends with these people? You want to forget all that? You got to be a damn demon or idiot, because that means you curse your own ancestors. Your ancestors, they sit around and the only hope they had was one day you would take vengeance on these people that did that stuff to them. And then if they could see into the future and see you, they would have drowned your ass before you was even born. They would have cut your throat before you was even born. They knew that's what you was going to do. Fist bumping and marrying them and sleeping with them and hey, bro, you got to be a damn demon, my bro. They did to your ancestors. Oh, somebody come and stomp your mother in the ground, piss on her, and you want to say, hey, bro, I'm glad you didn't kick her. Well, let bygones be bygones, man. I know you didn't mean it. Is that why you roll? No other nation rolls like that. That's why you're in the situation you're right now. Because they know you ain't nothing. Now, a bunch of punks sit around here because you're still Negro butts. Program to self-destruct. Program to do whatever Master tell you to do. Program not to answer any questions. Do whatever Master tell you to do. Period. Program took 64 years of programming. 1692 came out of Similand. Fully programmed. Just like a lot of them, I'm going to tell you. That made in America. This is Jamie Jefferson. You walk around and stand the name. What was the name? It's ownership. It's a designation ownership because they changed you, sold you to Master Brick Ass, then your name became Jamie Brick Ass. And you walk around, you're happy with those. The demons had all their names because they Master's children. Through rape and everything, they ain't us. It's kinfolk, they ain't kinfolk. And they hate you just as much, they hate you more than Master because they hate that skin. because they want to be accepted like integration. Remember, they want to be accepted just like master children. They hate their skin. They hate you because they resemble you. But they live amongst you. They cause all kinds of, they terror butts. They cause terror and fear amongst you. They keep all this stuff going like you see in Chicago. They're killing all that kind of stuff. That still ain't us. But move on to this power thing. See, I said women have been abused by every religion. Every religion. There's not one religion out there that lifts women up. Every one of them puts them down. They say, well, Prophet Muhammad, he may have done, but not after him, because Sunniism, women are definitely subjected. And this was not the case over 50,000 years ago. So now, see, it says that would remain the case if Suleiman came along, right? And put those people that was putting women down and teach the women to get back their equality. What I said teach them. Because you hear people saying, and I've said it in the past, well, I haven't really been clear on it, because I'm going to go a lot of detail, but I'm going to be clear on it today. See, we cannot put women on a pedestal. We cannot do it. If we do it, that means we can take them down. If you lift somebody up, you can take them back down. What I meant by that is we have to teach them, because I keep telling you, I don't tell you anything, I just give you information. We have to give women information so they can grab their equality. They take it back. See? Because once we teach, because it's all about pressure. And once we put them back on the mental standard, the mathematical standard, to put their minds back up there, then they can maintain their equality. Because they have enough pressure, right, to balance out the male. Because they 180 degrees, we're 180 degrees. See, 180, 360. We want 180 degrees going clockwise, they 180 degrees going counterclockwise. That makes a circle. But see, now they're being subjected because they don't have knowledge to obtain, right, their mental power to convert. Because all of us, see, not only was women put down, but we was put down ourselves. So we was putting our women down, and then we was put down by everybody else too, because it's all about energy deprivation. So us being put down, so we put somebody down more than us. But nobody likes to be down on the bottom. So we was put down on the bottom, so we put our women down. That's sad, but that's what we did. Put our women down lower than us. So we said somebody's lower than us. So the black woman was at the lowest. Nobody was lower than her. Not even the dogs. See? So we didn't have the mental, we didn't have the mental power, right, to rise above it. And they didn't have the mental power to rise up to our level or above. So everybody was down. We were on the second floor, they was in the basement. We was on the first floor, they was in the basement. See? And the master, he was on the second floor. And they would remain at doing energy deprivation. But now we're not suffering anymore. Now the woman can ride, but she'll know how to. And wisdom people can ride, and they don't know how to. And that's where Suleiman had to come. That's what it said, right? He had to give them knowledge to wake them up. That's what angel is. Angels have a book to do that. The Quran is not the book to do it. The Quran was the book to raise up the Arabs for 1,000 years. Angel is one that lifts you back up. That's why I call it Ancient of Days, Suleiman Ancient of Days, or the Christ Ancient of Days, right? Because he puts you back to old standard. They bring you back to where you were. Like it says, as it was in the beginning, so shall it be in the end. As you were in the beginning of this deprivation, you'll be back there at the end. That's Suleiman's job to do. That's why I bring you angel. When you start studying angel, you start rising. Or you start turning angel into power. And our women have to turn angel into power so they can get back in position, and it's their responsibility to stay in that position. It's our responsibility to stay on top of your civilization once we get there. It's like Europeans' responsibility to stay in power when it was given to them by Dr. Yaqub. It was their responsibility to give them the guidance to follow that guidance, stay in power. But they didn't. So they kept falling out of power. They followed power for 2,000 years. They rose, right, for 2,000 years, right? See, 2,000, 4,000, and 2,000, right? Then they fell down again, right? For 1,000 years. And now they get ready to collapse all together. Because they abandoned the standing. They abandoned the law. They was put under law. We was not put under law because we the spirit. They the flesh. It's our nature. You don't have to tell a dog what to do. A dog knows what to do. You have to tell us what to do because we know what to do. Because our nature, because this is our creation, so we don't need to tell anybody how to outlive in our creation. You need to tell a fish how to live in water. That's why we don't not under law. Because this is our creation, so it's an extension of us. So nobody needs excuse me. Hold on for a minute, bounces. Let me something. One second. Get something, some water. Okay, brother, says, where was I? I was talking about any deprivation problem. I think that's where I was. So under energy deprivation, right? We have enough energy to. We have have to have external energy. You have internal energy, external energy. We receive the same amount of energy, so we didn't have enough energy. We have any external energy, so we could not. You have to have external energy to convert it into power. We had none. So, like I said, we fell, and our women lower than us, because it was about force. It was about not force, about physical, not mental. So women cannot compete with us in a mental contest, and so they were subjected. And that's what happened. But it's all about pressure. So that's what the angel is for. It's like a mental gym to restore our minds back. Because remember, it says in Daniel and in Revelations, right? Our minds had to be returned to us. See? And the angel is our minds. Your mind is like the software. See, you have a brain, that's the hardware. Your mind is the software, like the operating system, that's the mind, right? But the hardware, that's the brain. So your mind had returned to you, because right now you operate on a weak mind. You operate on adverse mind, mind that was given to you, Negro butts. That's it. The first was born after 1619, stamp. With those names that you think they're names, our ownership. The marks of ownership, the statements of ownership. Who owns you? So if you're owned by Master Richardson, then your name is Jamie Richardson. If you're owned by Master Jackass, then your name is Jamie Jackass. But you're stuck on those names proud with them. That shows you're still a Negro butt. You're still programmed. You're still in their control, a Negro butt. The first biological robots. Most of our people are still in that situation. And our women are the worst. And everybody uses our women. They're demon females. They're on TV, they're jelly rolls. The demon men got a nose up in the butt, the cracks, and all that kind of stuff, you know. They make us look like fools. You got these clowns like Martin Lawrence and all these people, right? See, they're all demons. They look all over the world, makes us like fools and ignorant. You don't see that kind of stuff out of Africa. That's why they don't want you to have anything to do with you either, because you make them look bad. Because you look like them. So they're not respected, because our enemies make us look like clowns and fools and everything else. Jackasses and crack addicts and pimps and hoes. So you're going to come to grip with the angel, because the angel is what's going to lift you up. Because you have to escape this gravitational vortex, or you will not get out of here. If your mental power is not greater than the mental power of our enemies, and their mental power is in free fall, you will not get out of here. Their mental, this reality you see, all this is an extension of their mental pressure. Because everything is pressure. And this is what the ability, their minds, right? This is the best they can produce. Because their minds can handle so much pressure. Ours can handle infinite. And that's the maximum the universe can produce. Because we was here during that time. But they was created in haste in a time of total expansion of the universe. When the universe stayed at tension, that means they was created in haste, as the Quran says. But when the universe started contracting again, it destroys them, because now they can't deal with pressure. Pressure increases, it crushes them. But pressure turns us into diamonds. See, we're adverse to tension. So we lost control when the universe of maximum tension went into energy deprivation, because we didn't have enough energy to maintain ourselves. So all the energy you see out there, we used to be here. So at that point, at maximum expansion, energy out there, we suffered energy deprivation. And so our women was the first to be cast down. So they'd be the first to be lifted up. That's the Superman will be their champion. All he can do is, he can't physically lift them up, he can defend them until they get the knowledge to lift themselves up. Because once they lift themselves up, it's their responsibility to stay up. I want you females to understand this, because you can easily lose your equality if you don't take responsibility for it. So when they say we got to lift the sister on the pedestal, right? We got, like I have been very clear about that in the past myself, right? I'm talking in general terms, right? Because we are, but I'm not physically lifting you up. I never meant it that way. I should have made that clear. Mentally, by giving you knowledge, when you apply them, because I always tell you, you got to apply the 5 fundamental principles, mathematical principles of Islam. You apply these things, and that will put you back into to the mathematical standard, to the mental standard, and that's what's going to keep you there. That's where you maintain equality. Because when you're less than the math, then you're in the physical realm, the heart zone, and the male is going to take advantage of you, will put you down because he has greater strength than you, because you're in his zone now, you're greater strength than him. But your mentality can equal his. See? Because you can't tell me that the dumbest man on the planet is wiser than the wisest woman. You know that's not true. So the female mind can't compete with the male mind. So they contain equality. But it's your responsibility to maintain, it's like our responsibility to maintain civilization once we take it back again. Nothing comes by nothing. You have to do it yourself. You move, the way you are right now, the situation you're right now, don't look around. Like that demon Michael said, look in the mirror. You are the one that put yourself in the position that you're in right now. You're the one, by your past actions. Say, yeah, well, okay. If you 1,000 miles negative, right? And now you 500 miles negative, that means you're moving in a positive direction. You're getting better. You're still negative, but you're not as negative as you was before. Don't tell me, well, man, we got all these bad things happen to us, and we enslaved and harm. Yeah, we're in that. But you can rise above it. We've been rising above it for over 150 years now, since the 1860s. we start rising up because energy is coming, and we're converting that energy into power. We wasn't able to do that until 1948, actually, because 1948, that's when energy deprivation came to an end. We no longer was suffering energy deprivation after 3,000 years came to an end. Now we're at zero. It was up to negative, you say negative 50,000, negative 40,000, negative 30,000, negative 6,000 years ago, negative 600, that was 600 years ago, right? And now we're at zero. Right? So now no more energy deprivation. Still no power, right? But now we're moving. So now we go from 0 to 1. Now we have power. 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. But that power only depends, I should say, you have energy now. Energy 1, energy 2, energy 3. Now it's up to you to convert the energy into power. And it takes discipline, because discipline is a mechanism of how you turn energy into power. Because discipline is just another way of, the Bible says, called righteousness. Certain type of discipline, but that's what righteousness is based on discipline. And some women are more disciplined than some men. So women have the nature and ability, right, for equality. But they've been in a position for 50,000 years. They've been forced out of equality, been subjected. And the last 7 years been worse than ever. Instead, Suleiman will come along and end that. He'll be a champion to get them a chance to get on their feet, to teach them getting their mind back, right? So they would be able to take their position, the exalted position. Because we're not giving it to them, because we give it to them, we take it back from them. We give it to them by giving them knowledge, then they have to act on that knowledge. So let me make that clear, because we're so used to thinking somebody's going to do something for us. No. You have to take the responsibility to be on top of civilization. Our females have to take the responsibility to be on top of civilization to maintain that position and to take and maintain the status of equality. Because if they don't, these brothers will put you back in subjection. And on the other side, it's not likely, but it could happen. These sisters could put you into subjection if you fail, and they remain their equality. They remain on the mathematical standard. You start slipping. That's what's possible to happen, but it might happen. It might happen to some brothers. We have had women rulers in the past. That means if they was rulers, that means they had more power than the people around them. See? We ain't talking about ruling and controlling. We're talking about equality. So Ishmael did. He says, we don't lie about anything. They lie about everything. That's a lie in itself. They lie about everything. There's nothing that people say is true. It's one lie after another. It's lie. One lie after another. I can demonstrate every lie he told. Everyone was a lie. Everything he said was a total abject lie. So they got him by the balls, right? Because they say he got $1 million house Farrakhan put him in because he got these sisters on the corner. See, they respect sisters, right? But they got him on the corner to do film raisers. Elijah Muhammad never put sisters on the corner to do anything. But he got him. That's how he keep them long, nice, long, pretty dresses. Signs because the so-called wannabe designer glasses and with stretched Bentley and all that kind of stuff. Those wannabe FOI, they ain't doing a damn thing. You can't get them to do anything. They won't sell any papers or anything. They got sisters doing it. He pimping out his sisters. And he had screwing a bunch of them. Excuse my French. I like to be direct when it needs to be direct. That's what he's doing. He admitted it. It's their language, brothers and sisters. I'm not going to dance around with their language. See? That's their language. They say, well, don't use these words. But why you make the words up? You don't want us to use them. Why you create the words you don't want us to use them? Well, that's profane. Well, why you got the word in there to begin with then? Take the words out, then nobody can use them. If not by supposed to use them, why you have them in there? It's all this stuff just dumb, stupid stuff. You don't have that kind of stuff in Arabic. At least Arabic I'm aware of, but then again, Yeah, I'll be the last one to ask about that. They tricked me on Arabic. No, I thought it was just one Arabic. What did I know? Quranic Arabic. Nobody hardly speaks Quranic Arabic. Yeah, Egyptian Arabic, Syrian Arabic, Saudi Arabian Arabic, which they say is pretty much close to the Quranic Arabic, right? You got, all kinds of Arabic. But Quranic Arabic, those words, kind of words, profane words, don't exist. If you don't want people eating hog, this is why you sell it. You don't sell it, they can't eat it. Give it all the hogs, you don't have that problem anymore. Yes, that's their bull. Don't use those words, we'll take it out of the dictionary then. Because you're profane people, that's why you got what's profanity in your language. Because you couldn't speak. Because if you're profane, you have to have language that reflects your profanity. That's why you got those words there. Because you use them. Because that's the way you think. And then sometimes, oh man, you profane. Yeah, well, that's your language. How do those words get in there? Just pop out of nowhere? What part of profane? To me, profanity is when you use that word out of place. That's profanity. Use words out of place. But use the words appropriate, right? If you call shit, that's appropriate, that's what it is. We don't call it manure. Oh, so that changed the texture of it. Now you can eat it now because you call it like shitlings. Because you took the S off, put C down, now it's okay to eat? Come on. Be real, this is no bullshit zone here. So I'm not cut this short here, but I just want you to understand, brothers and sisters. See? Especially sisters. It's your responsibility, once you have power, to maintain it. It's not our responsibility. But our responsibility, we can take it from you. We're going to give it to you. It's my job to give it to you. All of it. Especially teach you. So these brothers can't take advantage of it anymore. It's not they naturally take advantage. It's just that's where force is force. Force is not contained. Force is force. So if I got greater pressure, I'm going to force you in submission. If I got greater pressure than you, because greater pressure crushes or pushes away weaker pressure. That's just mathematics. So you can't say, okay, well, I'm going to be nice to you, so I'm not going to let my pressure affect you. How you going to do that? It's impossible. So if I want to make sure nobody crushes me, that makes sure my pressure is equal to theirs or greater. It's my responsibility. They can say, well, I like you, you're my brother, I'm not going to crush you. How are you going to do that? How are you going to do that? Unless you're going to go somehow diminish your pressure, diminish your power, then the people crushing you. You got to understand, brothers and sisters. So you have to gain the power that will secure your equality. It's up to you to do it. If you don't do it, then you fall back in subjection, and that'll be your responsibility. I'm going to get you there. Once you're there, it's your responsibility to stay there. I'm not going to physically lift you up, put you on this pedestal, because if I do that, who's going to keep you up there? If I can put you up there, I can take you back down. If I can give you freedom, I can take it back from you. Like these white folks that give you freedom. They got their laws, they can take it back from any time they want to. We need to understand things, brothers and sisters. So I'm going to say, I wasn't going to say much more than that. Right? It's all about pressure. And for power is controlled pressure. Discipline is the mother of power. That's how you obtain power, through discipline. Discipline and energy. If you don't discipline, it's just like a person got $1 million, they're going, smoking, drinking, everything else. No discipline, pretty soon that energy is gone. They never had any power. Because they were just giving, the person that was investing everything, he was converting that money into power. Which the person that's throwing it away would subject that person, because he would have to go to this person, get apartments and everything you need, food or whatever. So right now, the Europeans have power, but it's fading fast because they're falling away from their discipline. Their discipline was the scripture that was given, the sealed Bible, and they fall away from it. Now they're going into homosexuality, and they can't tell what a woman is. They got drug abuse and transgender, all this stuff, right? They talk about men could be pregnant because that stuff makes sense to them. You think, oh, that's crazy. It's not crazy to them, because when your mind's under pressure and you're under great distress, your mind's under pressure, that makes sense to you because you're confused. And so when you're confused, you think that's what you see, you think that's what it is, because that's what you see. You think that's what it is. Like when you're in a dream, right? What you're dreaming, you think, sometimes you have a dream that seems so real, you think it is. And then you be doing things, right? But it ain't real. Because that state you're in. That's the state you're in. So to them, that makes sense. But that shows you their mind is collapsing, because they can no longer deal with reason and math and science, because that stuff is not math, it's not science, it's not biology, because their mind is being crushed. Precious crushing their mind. That's why sales thing. So get out of their way, because to them, you can't argue with them, because that's the way they see it, because their mind is under great pressure, under great stress. And it's going to get worse. I mean, how can they tell you? The Supreme Court just said, she can't tell you what a woman is, and she's a woman herself. Come on, men can get pregnant. And you got to put tampons in men's bathroom. And see, that just tells you where they're going. It's going to get crazier than that. Much crazier. When they finally collapse, it's going to be totally insane. We won't be here then, but when they go out there, and they're going to think that's the whole society, everything is collapsing around them. And the thing is they can't stop it, because as their mind being crushed, that seems normal to them. We see evidence. A man get pregnant. You see, that's evidence of insanity, but that seems normal to them. See, so they'll keep thinking it's normal until they actually feel the physical pain, the fire. And fire wakes up everybody, but then it's too late. So that means that's why they're free fall. Because they can't recognize their decline, because their minds decline too. So everything's happening seems normal. And some people, it seems like an advancement. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. So you women out there, you're the best. You black females, you're the best. See? But they had you on when they drop off the mathematical standard and they went to physical, all these religions, they all put down women. None of them on the mathematical standard, not one of them. Most of them rely on pure force. That means you fail, because when we separated gender, we took the strength, we took the beauty. You can't compete with you in beauty, you can't compete with us in strength. But we're supposed to respect the beauty, that's the equality, and you respect the strength. But if we move everything to strength, we move you into a strength arena. See, in the 50,000 year, we just moved into a strength arena where you lose. And we moved to beauty, but we're not in, because energy deprivation moved us into a strength arena. So you lose. So you get oppressed. Because you can't compete there. So now we're moving back out of that arena, back to mathematical standard, right? See, where your beauty is respected, our strength is respected on the mathematical standard. It has to be respected, not the physical standard, the mathematical standard. See? Because your beauty has power. Our strength has power. But all based on discipline. If you go around with your beauty and just walk naked and just go away, just undermine, what's the word I want to use? Be extravagant with your beauty, That means you know discipline with your beauty. You don't have the power, your beauty has no power. That's what we see right here, right now. Naked, no clothes on, jelly rolls. You see them on TikTok and everything else. No clothes on. And they don't understand what they're doing. No discipline with their beauty. So they have no power. Because their power comes through their beauty. Ours comes through our strength. So they have no discipline with it. Just out of control. You see it? In Western, that's how they free fall. The women out of total control. They wear more clothes to bed than they go out in the streets. Some wear more clothes in the shower than they go out in the streets. And the way they talk and the way they act. See? No discipline at all. And then their relations with other people. Fornication, no control, no discipline, just sleeping with anybody and everything else. They lose their power. That's why Europeans are losing all their power. The women are losing their power. The men lose their power. The men right here, they get smoking, drugs, all that stuff there. You see what I'm saying? Because no discipline in there. So we're trying to give you the angel and the 5 fundamental pillars of Islam. They give you the angel, so now give you the strength, the discipline, so you can achieve your power, right? And so therefore you move to the hereafter with beauty, power. Beauty, power. And the original woman is the most beautiful and the most beautiful creature on the planet. She got beauty power that you can't even imagine. And it just gets better and better and better. Can you imagine the beauty power a black woman have 1,000 years from now, 10,000, a million years from now? If they could walk here right now, you'd fall on your knees. You'd be like with that Medusa, everything in the stone. You see her, you just crumble because you couldn't deal with that beauty. You couldn't do it. You can't deal with the beauty of them now. And they just throwing it around, just throwing that beauty away, just throwing it around like money, spending everywhere, all kind of stuff. That kind of stuff. Why I ain't got no money, man? How come I'm poor? Why don't I have no power? See, no respect. Because you're taking energy, your beauty energy, and you're just throwing it around. Keep it around, I don't care, show everybody. But once you gain that beauty power, it just gets better and better and better. You can't even imagine how a black woman would look 20, 30, 40,000 years from now. You can't even imagine it. And they're beautiful now. You can imagine how much strength a man never have 30, 40, 50 years from now. 4,000, 5,000, 10,000 years from now. You can't imagine it. You think all these people, these bodybuilders stuff, man, that's nothing compared to where we're going to be. We're going to be much taller and bigger and powerful, physically and mentally. Sister's beauty and mentally. See? Because we have a certain degree of beauty too. Remember, it says the male and female, right? The male has 90% male and 10% female, and the female has 90% female and 10% male. So we communicate with each other. Because right now you got breasts, you don't need them, because we always one body. So we got to keep enough females so we communicate. Female, she has to keep enough males to make with us. So they have some strength. That strength will be the strength they will have 30, 40, 50,000 years from now will be greater strength than we have right now, but we're not maximum strength. And a little bit of beauty we have right now, right? 30, 40,000 years ago is more beautiful than the most beautiful black woman is right now. Because we just get better and better and better. So it's hard to imagine, some of you might be around, because I'm not going into that because they say, oh man, we want reincarnation. We don't believe in reincarnation. But we do believe in upgrades. So let's put it all together. Hope you understand, Bone says, I think I'm going to leave it there. I just want you to understand it's nature and your responsibility Your beauty, your power comes through your beauty. Our power comes to our strength. But right now, you've been on the strength plane, and so therefore your beauty is not respected. So look how you look. You don't respect your beauty yourself. You show it to everybody. I got money, just give you money to everybody. Okay, come on, man. Have come drink with me here, man. Yes. Then you can't stay while you're homeless. Same sister. Here, look at this. Showing it, button everything else to everybody. Jelly rolls. Speaking to everybody you can. Hope you understand, brothers and sisters. We're going to leave it there. Hope you understand. Assalamu alaikum. Just remember, hard cause. Never forget it. But let them keep telling about the slavery stuff. That's just a small portion of it. Let them know what it is, the hard cause. Assalamu alaikum.